Hello everyone. Do you know what your APIs are most afraid of? These are the unexpected inputs. And because of these unexpected inputs, your API might return an error which you didn't even imagine while developing your API. And if I say from a user point of view, they will get some random response with lots of technical data, but what they will think? They will think that your API is not working. And it's not the correct case because your API is working fine with the correct data. So what's the solution? So this part is the solution. In this part, we are going to understand these kind of corner cases, and also we are going to develop a functionality by which we are going to cover these kind of corner cases in a single go. We are not going to develop the functionality for each API. We are going to develop a functionality which can cover all the APIs. So without any delay, let's start. So first what we will see, the disastrous default error. As I told you, there are few corner cases in which the user can get a very random response, and we are going to see these kind of cases in this part. We are going to see what are the responses there even though we handle some kind of errors in our API. Okay, so what's the second point? Custom error messages. So it is a single solution for all those kind of corner cases in which we are telling the user and application also that, hey user, you are providing me the wrong data. It's not my fault, it's your fault. So it's the correct way through which we should develop our API, or this particular utility should be there in your API framework. And what's the last part? The last part is bulletproofing your URLs. A user can provide the wrong input in their URLs as well. That wrong data, it's very random. I will show you with the example. I will give you all the request and response cycles with the wrong URLs, and you will be amazed while seeing that, okay, a user can give these kind of inputs too. So we will work on these problem statements through our coding. We are not going to learn any new concept here. We are just going to improve ourselves and improve our FastAPI backend server. So without any delay, let's jump to our code base. So here my application is already running. So all those people who are new to this course or who are new to the FastAPI, I will recommend you to go and watch part 7a and 7b. Then you can come to part 9. Or if you know about FastAPI and just wanted to know like how these errors can be handled, then definitely you will be able to connect what I'm trying to do here. So here from the FastAPI server, it have this functionality providing me the docs, and from here you can see it is providing me these kind of APIs, and these are the particular application in which it is running. So I will work with the users, and for the users I have two API. One is post and one is get. From the post I am able to create one user, and from the get I am able to fetch a user which is already present into my database. Before going further, we will check first whether these APIs are working or not. So for that, I will go to my Postman, and inside the Postman, I will paste the API endpoint to confirm what is the API endpoint. API endpoint. You can go back to your docs and you can see this API v1 users, and it is the API v1 users. Okay, this particular part is fine. Now let's see what's the payload we need to provide here. Okay, so it is the payload. What I will do, I will paste that payload here, and in the username I will give some random name. Let's say I'm providing the name of Gandhi. Okay, Gandhi is a good name. The role is customer, and password again with the Gandhi. Okay, Gandhi. So let's create a post request to our FastAPI backend and see whether it's working or not. Okay, it created a user with the ID 7. Let's go and check with, for the get request. In the get request, all we have to do is we need to append the user ID here. Okay, so what I will do, we will create the latest ID 7 here, and I will change it to get and then hit the send button. Okay, it is able to fetch this particular username with the role and ID 7. So my get API and post API is working fine. Now let's talk about the corner case where we will find the errors. So before going to this particular corner case, let's review our users.py. This users.py is the one file where we have created the API, and we will review the code so that we will be able to see a picture that will it like will it be able to handle any exception or not? So here, if the user is already available for which I'm trying to create, it will throw the exception. Okay, it's the very normal behavior of our API. If particular data is already existing for a user, then it should not create a new user and it should provide me a correct error there. Okay, so here I have this Gandhi which I created just now. What I will do, I will create a post request again on a same payload. Okay, I will hit the send and it gave me this method not allowed. Why? Why? Okay, sorry. I have provided the wrong URL here. So I will hit the send and it gave me details. A user with this username already exists. It is a very clear and crisp response from where your application or a user who is using your API can understand, okay, that what the data I am providing here is wrong. But let's talk about the corner case. What if I'm not providing any username to it? I'm just hitting the payload with the wrong data or with the wrong structure. Let's see what it will do. Okay, it will give me this 422 unprocessable entity with the some very unexplainable content. From here, a user cannot understand that what went wrong. Okay, if they are not technical, and we will assume that the user who is using this API, they don't know about much technical stuff. They are just simply using it for their own purpose. So what we will do, we will go back to our slides and let's understand this disastrous default error. It is the disastrous default error which we have just seen now. It is the error which is unexpected because from API developer point of view, I will assume that a user will always provide a correct syntax to a payload, and the payload, the required keys will always have the values. But here, user provided something wrong and it gave the error which is not expected from the API development team. So this is the disastrous default error. And how to overcome it? As I told you, we will going to work on the custom error messages. So inside the custom error messages, as I said, we are not going to handle it on the API level basis. We are going to handle it in a way so that it can work on all of the APIs. So how we are going to work in a way so that it can work in all the APIs? So what I will do, I will go to my main.py. Inside the main.py, I will create a method and I will integrate that method to my app so that all the request response which is going through my app will be able to handled through that particular method. Okay, so let's start without any delay. So what I will do, async def, I will name this validation exception handler. And for that, I am gonna need few things from the FastAPI, and those are request, request, and also status. Okay, and also status. I'm gonna need one more thing, that is from FastAPI dot exception import JSON, not JSON, request validation error. Okay, so it is the one thing which I'm gonna need because we are going to handle the exceptions from the request, and also we are going to provide some status to it, and it will handle the part of requests. Okay, so I guess I have the things. I will import if anything else is required. So what I will do, I need to provide the request with the request type. It is the type of request, and also I'm gonna need exception. Okay, exception. Let's do this exception only. It will here I will provide it's a type of request validation error. Okay, so I have provided these two things. Let's work on our method, and here what I will do, I will create some friendly error. It will be a list, and after it for error details in error uh, no, sorry, in exec, it is not exec, it is this exe, this exe dot errors, this exe dot errors. Okay, where it is. I will fast forward this development and then I will explain you that what the thing which I did here. Okay, so we have developed this particular method by which we are going to handle most of the exceptions which we didn't handle in our API. So let's see how it's working. So we created one method with the two argument, request and exe. Just consider this exe as exception. So this request is the type of request from the FastAPI, and this exe, it means exception, is the type of the exception from request validation error. What I'm doing here is I created a simple list, and what I will store inside that list is whatever the errors which is present inside of this request validation, it will come as a list, and from a list I'm going to take it out what the details are required. And what details are required is, first of all, where it is wrong and what went wrong. So where it is wrong, it is just simply with the part I'm using the LOC. If we go back here into this part, and if I can see this details, there is this LOC, this location. So what it will do, it will provide me the location where from where it is getting the error, and what went wrong will come from the message if message is there. Okay, so here this message is JSON decode error. Okay, fine. So these two things it will fetch it out, and and for a response, in place of getting these many, like here it is very simple, but if you go for something bigger organization or some bigger project, you will find few more details as well which is not relevant to the user. So what our main aim is, our main is to simplify this error and tell to the user that okay, something went wrong. So here what I did, I first of all I checked from where it is coming from and what went wrong. Okay, I find out these two things. After getting this, I'm filling my list, this friendly errors. And what I do, after getting these all things, I am providing it as a JSON response. Okay, so these all things are set, but how we are going to integrate with our app? So it's a very simple thing. What we did here is this app is already available, and what we will do, we are just going to do the app dot add exception. Okay, there is this add exception handler. Okay, so here it is, this add exception handler, and here I will provide the request validation. Where is this request validation error? Request validation error, comma, this validation exception handler. That's it. This is the only part which we need to do. We created the handler method, and we added that method to our app only. So from the app, whenever this particular kind of error hit, it will execute this request validation error. So okay, here we have already saved it. Let's see whether our Ubicon is working or not. Okay, so our application is startup completed. We will go back to our Postman and we will hit the same thing again. Okay, so here this username is empty, and earlier we are getting this kind of response from the API. So let's hit the post request again, and okay, validation issues. See, it is very clear. It is very clear, like field is coming from the body. Okay, that's fine. And the message is JSON decode error. It means there is something wrong with the JSON. So we removed all the garbage value, all the noise from the response, and we segregated the simple message for the user. And from this validation issues, we can document it that if you are getting some validation issues, it might be possible that you are providing some wrong inputs to your API. And from there, user can understand, okay, it is my issue. It is not the API's issue. So from here, we are able to complete the custom error message part 2. Okay, so let's talk about our last point, this bulletproofing your URLs. As I told you, it will be all about the query parameters. So let's go to our API docs and see like what API we can use to demonstrate it. Okay, so here I have this user category products review and it have this product ID. If I think for a scenario, let's go for the products because in products there is a situation where you need to provide the pagination. It means you need to fetch the products from your DB as per the count. Like that, if you want to show 10 products on your page out of 100 products which is present inside your DB, so that is called the pagination, and that we can do with the products because the products are the key, thing which we have in like multiple counts. Okay, so first of all, let's check whether we have all the things or not. Okay, so inside the product table, I have around 10 items. Okay, it's good. So what we will do, we will come here to our code and we will go to the products.py from where we are handling the APIs. Okay, so here I have already this commented code. I will uncomment it. It is just for your general knowledge, like what we should not do. So for the pagination, what I did here is, here you can see the skip and you can see the limit. Skip is the part from where our count start, like from where we want our products to be get fetched from our DB. And if init int is equals to 0, it means if skip is equals to 0, I want the products from the initial number. And if this limit is goes to like here is over million, so when you are developing your API at that time, it might be possible that you have very few products like 10, 100 or might be 200. That is not much issue because for 200 products it can fetch easily. But when your products grows in your inventory, your DB will also getting bigger at that time. So fetching all the millions of products data at a single time, it can crash your backend and front end both server, because if multiple users are going to use it, it means like they will request for multiple times of millions records at a single query, and that is not a good practice, so we should avoid it. So what I will do, I will just remove it and I will come for the correct part. Okay, so here I have this one method in which I've created the paginated uh, response from the product. So what I did here is I provided the skip and limit, but here I use the query so that I can control it from the URL. I will show you all the things through the Postman. So here from the query, if I see the 0, it is the default value. If I'm not providing anything for the skip query, it will use 0. And if I am not providing anything for the limit word inside the query, it will use the 10. And here this GE is greater than equal to and this LE is less than equal to. It means I also restricted my limit as well. It means this count cannot be less than 0 and this count, this limit count cannot be greater than 100. It means it should be less than 100 and greater than 0 or equals. Okay, fine. So I have created the conditions as well with the query, and it will handle this scenario. Like if a user is going to provide something random to your query, like use, if anywhere, if a user can provide something, they will play with your URL, and we need to restrict that user. Like you should not do this. Okay, so here I have provided the condition to skip and limit, and what I do here is I am just getting all the product based on the skip and limit. Okay, so I guess it is all it about this paginated, but let's test it in the Postman. So here I have this paginated here, and what I will do, I will just simply click the get. Okay, send. Okay, I got the validation issue, and it's really good because this is the one thing which we handled earlier. But why we are getting this? Because if I see here this product ID, let's go to the message. Input should be a valid integer, unable to parse string as an integer. So here I have provided this paginated after the products. Okay, so this particular framework is getting confused because when it is coming to this products.py, it is looking for something which will come just after the API endpoint. And what it will get this API in the GET request. And when it comes to this, it found out that this product ID should be integer. But how we are going to execute this page init if it goes every time to product ID? So what we will do, we are just going to cut it and we will paste it before. Okay, so now it's fine. It will work in both the cases. Okay, we can test that too. So first of all, what we will do, we will come here and we will check for the product ID. It have from 6 to 15. We will go with the 9. Okay, so what I will do, I will just provide the 9 here and let's see whether it will work or not. Okay, it provided me the data. And now let's go back to our paginated. We are going to work with the default values first. It means from initial to 10. Okay, so go and send. Okay, it provided me all the data. See, it started from the 6 and it will go till 15. Till 15. See, this 15 is there, and from the first item, it will be ID 6. So now my both API endpoints are working, because first now it is validating whether the API endpoint is paginated or not. If it is not, then it will go for the integer. But initially, what it asks for, like the first item should be in integer. So we need to take care about this sequence as well, because we are working here to resolve our errors. Okay, so we worked with this. Now let's test our query parameter. Okay, so here we have this query parameters. What I will do, okay, so I will provide this query. Okay, not like this. I will do from skip equals to let's say 12, and what I will be the provide the limit equals to 14. Okay, let's do the send. Skip equals to 12 and limit equals to 14. It didn't provide me anything. Okay, let's remove the limit and see what it will return. It didn't provide anything. Again, let's go with the 6. Okay, so here I have this. Okay, sorry, it will skip the first 6 elements and then it will provide you the data. So if I'm providing the 12, it means it is skipping all the 12 elements, because I only have 10 items in my database, and because I've provided the skip equals to 12, so it skipped all the items which was present in my database. So skip equals to 6, it means it will skip the 6 item and it will print the remaining one. It will give the response for the remaining one. And what I will do, I will put here as a limit equals to, let's say 3. Okay, so how many records I have right now? I have around 1. Okay, this 1, 2, 3 and 4, and I have provided limit as 3. So let's do the send. So right now I have this 12, 13 and 14. I do not have that 15. Okay, so this query parameter is working fine. Now let's test our uh, negative one. What it will do, I will provide this limit as skip limit as -3. Let's see what it will return. It returned the validation issue. Input should be greater than or equal to 0. See how amazing it is. It really amazed my mind, like how from a single method you can control all the validation for your APIs. And this is the one which I wanted to show you. Like just from a single method, we are able to handle like so many cases, not only for a single API, for all the APIs. So that's it for this lecture, and I hope you liked it, because this is the one where we are improving ourselves and where we are improving our code as well. So if you have any doubts still in your mind, you can comment me, and I will update the latest code into this Git repository, which you will find into the description. And if you like it, then please subscribe it and let me know your feedback as well. Thank you.